All right, we made it.
Cool.
Weekend chat with Ruben Raul. I'm Ruben.
I'm Raul. Nice to meet you.
Cool. So another week, week four. Um,
Yes, week four. We did it.
how did it go? How was
Bam.
your week? How was it? How do you feel?
It's good.
Good,
It's been
good.
it's been good.
Yeah,
This whole week was it was okay. It was it was okay.
yeah. That was the thing. The sickness is going around, cold, flu. So I got a little bit of it. We're all kind of getting over it.
Yeah.
Work. It's work. So
Work is
we're
work.
here. We made it. Cheers.
Cheers.
Beer of the week. What are we drinking?
We are drinking good old Samuel Adams, which is Oktoberfest, hearty and smooth with deep malt complexity, and it actually delivers. This does have a lot of smooth and plus deep malt. If you're into malty stuff, hoppy stuff with a good smell on it, this is a good beer. It is a 5.3, so you can just kind of chill and drink a six pack and still be like, okay, well, whatever. I can
Mm-hmm.
go ahead and do calculus and shit. But so it's good. So it's good. A lot of people like 5.3s. It's good. It's me and him. We're more of a 7.0.
Yeah.
You know, we're up here.
Well, in the spirit of October, we just started this the month.
Happy October.
And Halloween. I thought, hey, why not break this out? Seasonal, give it a try, and
Mm-hmm.
just um, promote it for you guys to go check it out.
Sam Adams,
Cool.
Oktoberfest.
Mm-hmm.
Awesome. Okay, so our main topic.
What's on the agenda? Okay. Well, not really a topic. It was kind of a thought from last week's segment.
Sure.
Sparked a lot of attention. With our fans and friends, and even the other people like ESPN, kind of piggyback on it somehow, um, just by luck. But it made me think about like kind of like censorship and things that go on online right now compared to how it was back in the 40s, the 50s.
Yeah.
And what I'm talking about is like I guess like maybe nudity, the way people present themselves online. I guess the way sex sells now. We're getting away with a lot more things nowadays, and I'm trying to understand when did that happen? Where did that come from? Like this confidence and kind of just like this leadway for people to just throw themselves out there. Me on a personal level, looking back at like magazines from maybe like the 50s and like in the 40s, and just a woman showing just a little bit of the leg, and a man will be like, oh, they have to fan themselves because that was just like
Mm-hmm.
too much for them because
Right.
they,
Right.
they weren't used to seeing things like that put out. And for a woman to do that, it was kind of like, oh, she's a floozy, or she's a whore, or, a harlot, whatever.
Yeah.
So it was also frowned upon. It's kind of like a Truman Show type scenario. 50s, everybody's cookie cutter,
Sure.
everybody's
Sure.
clean.
Sure.
They have their backgrounds, their religious background. So there was that structure, and even you and me in our generation, even in the early '90s when we'd go look for certain things and we'd get aroused, it wasn't there wasn't a lot of stuff out there that we would be able to find. Like the most biggest centerfold back then was like Pamela Anderson,
Yeah.
and then trying to find like a picture of Halle Berry. And I remember we would go and print what we could print of whatever new pictures we find online, and
Sure.
it was really hard to find those.
Yeah.
And when we would find printouts, we would like keep them in a book and be
Right.
secretive, and then
Right.
pass it around with the friends throughout the. I think I had a book in high school. It's called the Hip Hop Connection, and in there I had like sections of Pamela Anderson, Carmel Electra. I think even some Tyra Banks ones, and but I was the only one that had that book, and everybody would die to get their hands on it for just one period just to kind of look at it.
Sneak peek. Yeah.
Yeah, but nowadays it's like a kid could have his cell phone in PE class and he can look at Jordan Carver, anybody, Miley Cyrus, and it's like all there.
Was it Mia Khalifa or something like
Oh
that?
yeah, Mia
Yeah.
Khalifa. Now we know porn names by like
Oh yeah.
cereal,
They're just yeah.
But back then it was just like it was just so I guess we used to appreciate it more, and now it's just kind of like we're bored by it now. It's just like everybody can be a porn star. Anybody can find themselves, and it's like, I've seen that before.
Now
We're like in that impressive where we're like spoiled now. Like, when did our minds become? I mean, is that like a bad thing that we're so immune to this lifestyle? Or at what year did it cut off to where it was just like censorship in our brains is just kind of like there's no limits anymore. It's no holds bar. Like it's weird to me. Like, are we? Is that bad or good? I
No,
don't
no,
know.
no, no. I think you have a valid, interesting thought.
Yeah.
Because seriously, like I think that as soon as the internet started skyrocketing, as soon as dial-up connection was getting faster, as soon as the
Okay.
DSLs, the T1s, all that crazy stuff, so as soon as we started getting wireless, I mean things were starting to get really, really big for people. People started. There was pioneers, like there always is. There's always pioneers out there that are gonna stretch the limits of people's imagination of what they can do and what they can't do. And so pretty much that stretched out to me, I think, in my thought is that I think that it stretched out so fast and so quickly that the government wasn't able to regulate at the time, so they already were there. So it's not
Mm-hmm.
like the government or any kind of social like governments or moral governments or moral things or whatever were able to say, hey, that's wrong. What are you doing? But they were already there.
Mm-hmm.
Like there was probably already in the year 2000 there was probably more porn sites than there probably is
Right.
now.
Right.
Like it was insane. So I think that now they're just trying to keep up and try to regulate, but it's already hard because they were there first.
Yeah.
So I mean, and honestly, but you're absolutely right. Like the social media has created something like a phenomenon because now you're right. Like my next door neighbor, who knows? Like it can be anyone's neighbor that's doing it, and it might not even be doing it just for a perverse kind of thing. It might be because obviously people need the money, and that's the way to
Yeah.
to make money. But you're absolutely right. But then there is some people that are just like totally perverse and just do it because they're exhibitionists and they just love that kind of lifestyle, and that's
Mm-hmm.
cool. Whatever do you, boo
Yeah.
boo.
Yeah.
Like do whatever you want.
Yeah. Like it turned to a point to where people became confident enough to be like, well, I know I'm not a whore.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not a prostitute, but I look good and I should be able to flaunt myself
Right.
and take some pictures and get maybe some money from this because of the amount of likes I get, or maybe somebody sponsoring their brand on the bottom of my video. Um, at what year what I'm trying to say is where people realize that sex sells and that they can get away with that, because back in the 50s it's kind of like no one wanted to touch things like that because it was like that's too risque, that's too, and now you got Carl Jr. commercials and some even other country commercials are really pushing the limits as far as like what you see. They're like, God, that's like almost a porno
I,
what I see.
I think
um
you're absolutely
yeah.
right. I think what I see is that maybe in the 60s and 70s when there was more like people were doing more drugs, people were more they were more wild about their lifestyle. They were trying to change that atmosphere of like the cookie cutter thing because
Yeah.
you had the 40s and the 50s. You had 40s, people coming home from war, and then you had the 50s, which the suburbs and all that stuff. Then you had the 60s where the kids are all the baby boomers are starting to grow up. All you're just starting to kind of like figure out like, wait, hold up, this is stupid. So they started to live all this like wild child type of like thought pattern. And so well, from what I think, and my dad too, my dad is a baby boomer, so he told me, he was like, in '69, man, this was going on. It was crazy. I was wearing all black. My dad was wearing all black. He was smoking this and doing that and having a good time. But that's the culture. That's the way it was.
Right.
And so I think at that point, that's when yes, that's when a lot of inhibitions started happening. A lot of things that people thought that they weren't able to do because of obvious culture.
Right.
The culture has completely changed. Culture did change at that time, from what I think. And so that there you have it. And then
But what about our minds? Like even females too. Like back when females would go to a concert and see Elvis perform, and they see him shaking his
mm-hmm,
waist, and then they would totally lose their mind. They
mm-hmm,
would piss themselves and faint.
yeah, yeah,
Because back then that was like 40s, 50s. Because they weren't used to seeing that. That wasn't really thrown at them that much.
yeah, yeah.
So nowadays, if we see something like that, it's like
No, you're
girls are
absolutely.
just like, who cares? Like they want to go see Channing Tatum and XXL, and they're like, okay, that's what I want to see. So let's say if a woman from back in the 50s to go to a movie theater and see that, would she totally like lose her mind? Like the mindset, how we've been programmed a certain way to be immune to these, I guess, perversion, because it's not. I
Well,
mean, it's entertainment, but it's like it's flesh. It's
people see it.
you
People see
know
it as entertainment and profitability. People see it as they are business owners. If we were to say that if we were to think that they're thinking that they're whores and they're doing it just because they just love to fuck around and just do whatever the fuck they want to do on camera, then that's totally crazy. But they're really just going marketing themselves. Everyone wants to market themselves. Everyone has even has the right to market themselves, but also they with the new technology that we have, everyone just does it because hey, they want to love themselves. That's great, cool. I'm not against that. What I guess it's weird because now we the curse of that is that now we are desynthesized.
Yeah. Okay.
We are
That's a
completely
good word.
desynthesized
Uh
now.
huh.
That's the curse, and that's our own personal curse
Yeah.
because now like we can't get off on a girl just kind of like
Yeah. That's the whole point. It's a psychology behind it. It's just like it's like a child seeing a new woman for the first time.
right.
Uh, and then if the child being thrown all this stuff, he's just like by the time he's like 11, is like, I've seen that. Show me two horses this time. And you're
Yeah,
like, what? Like
but you're either being thrown into it or you choose to do that because seriously there is different
yeah.
minds out there like you can either you can either be sucked into that type of lifestyle just like any type of drug because it is like seriously like it's a dopamine rush. You get
Uh,
excited. Everything is really all about excitement and let's see, will I get caught doing this stuff and
yeah.
all
Okay.
that.
Yeah.
Like
That's true.
everything is a drug. We as
Uh-huh.
human beings are dopamine addicts.
So,
Let's be
so it's the same
serious.
type of feeling with like when a woman and a guy are cheating and they're keeping a relationship secret, and then once that secret is exposed and they're open about it, it kind of kills the whole. It's not really the same feeling. It's probably the same type of,
Right.
I guess, thought or brain process.
It's exciting.
That makes it unique.
Yeah, right, right.
Okay.
But that actually would be a better another issue too. He always brings up really cool topics,
I
which
try.
he eventually around Thursday forgets about them, and then on Saturday has nothing to say.
Yeah. I try to have my moments, but I don't ever have
Next
anything
time I
really.
have a conversation over the phone with him,
Mhm.
I'm gonna just record everything he says because he has some interesting thoughts. The
Yeah.
guy is a smart guy. Don't let the hair fool you. He actually is pretty smart, and this is he's the reason why we're here right now. But we are in my house,
I try.
so respect the house. Anyways, okay, so how's the beer going?
Good, good. But on that note, as far as us talking and giving our opinions, like that's what we're doing.
Yeah,
We're not doing one side the other side.
right,
We're just
right.
speaking freely on certain topics. I mean, as far for right now, and maybe later on we'll be more narrow sided. But for now, we're speaking freely. For you to get the idea and for you to think about it and maybe ponder and ask questions or just even think about it and talk to with your kids or with your boyfriend or whatever.
Sure.
But that's what we're kind of doing right now. So
Yeah,
there
no.
isn't a right or wrong answer. It's just kind of just like we're freely speaking about it because
Right.
it's thoughts that we have that I know other people have, and you know, you can enjoy with us as you
Have a
watch,
beer.
and like I said, chime in and just hit us up, write a comment and email us. I mean,
Comment below,
it
please,
won't
on
hurt.
anything that we've had some pretty amazing comments on the bottom, which we do
Yeah,
we
they
appreciate a
they,
lot.
they
Thank
come and
you,
go. Yeah,
thank you very much. They do come and go.
yeah. I mean, people are watching and they care. So on that note, just we don't want to get too deep. Um,
No, we never
yeah,
do, and we
no,
never do. Don't ever think that we're always like,
yeah,
oh, okay, well, what the hell? Are these guys priests or what?
no, no,
No,
no,
no, these
yeah,
are just thoughts
uh-huh.
that he had, and we're just like,
Yeah.
hey, we're throwing them out there, and you can just you can go out and do whatever you want with it, and tell your friends about it,
Mhm.
whatever you want. Okay,
But yeah, we'll move on.
I'm
What are
gonna
we
go
gonna
ahead and
do?
switch the subject though. The beer is great, obviously.
Yeah, I like it. We've had this before. It's seasonal.
You will have a day that I will not like the beer, and I will give you some
Yeah,
nasty
I'm gonna
faces.
try look for something. No, yeah, yeah,
This one, but
yeah,
this one's more marketed. I've had this every October
yeah.
since
Sure.
it happened,
Hmm.
and you can get this at any store. There's no specialty store going on.
Okay.
Okay, so now what we're gonna do is day in history.
Day in history.
Today in history, we have Mr. Yaps.
Hello. Today in history, it was O.J. Simpson. It was actually acquitted for a double murder.
Hmm,
Hmm.
indeed. Okay, so do you know anything about that?
Well, I don't know. Not being an expert on O.J. Simpson, I'm gonna be honest, but The glove thing, I don't know. I mean, sure, that's the only doubt that I have. You know, you can find a random bloody glove in anyone's place. That doesn't mean you murdered somebody. I mean, I don't know. And that's a good shot of his eye. You can see every little nook and cranny in there. Some good shots. Yeah.
Indeed. I'm gonna let it play, and I'm just gonna watch over it for a while.
To see when it cuts off or
Yeah, because what the fuck? Sports.
okay.
All right, sports.
Sports. What do we
Cool,
got?
awesome. So we got the Patriots that got a bye week. Tom Brady is out snorkeling, which is great. Please don't get hurt. And then it looks like the your Chargers
Okay.
are hosting the Browns this week tomorrow.
Gotta win. Just win.
Just win.
O line. Donald Butler's out. New O line guy in. I know the Browns lost against the Raiders or whatever, but we
Sure.
gotta win. Just win the games. Shit. Come on.
Cool, awesome. So then now we're going to switch to Major League Baseball. Angels versus the Texas Rangers.
Mm.
We're going back and forth. I watched that game personally. That was a great game. Angels came back on the ninth and got 5 runs, won the game. Well needed. I think they're a game, half a game to where they need to be at. And then we got the going to college now. Fresno State versus San Diego State. We're definitely going for San Diego State to win that one, although they're both 1 and 2. And that is pretty much it for sports.
Cool.
Cool. Do you have any additional anything else
No,
to say?
just people like a page, share, comment, get involved, let us know what's up. And on that note,
Yep.
that's the end of the show. It's real corny, but who cares? Go.
Bam. There we go. Okay, so we're all set. Have a great weekend, guys.
Yeah, we did it.